Awesome. Well, thank you so much for putting this together, man, even though you forgot.
Yeah, of course. Anytime. Any time of day, I'm always down to shoot.
Awesome. So I wanted to get together with you and talk about the what's going on in the market right now, what you're seeing, and then also what you've done over the past like 3 years with COVID and all that kind of stuff that's been going on.
Wow, that's a lot to
I know it's a
unpack.
lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. But you really came out of COVID like a superhero. A lot of people died during that time, and it seemed
Yeah.
like you actually quadrupled.
Well, COVID was, I guess, to take it back. I hate to say it, but COVID was a good year for me.
Yeah.
The 2020 was a great year for me. Not just for our business, not for the company, but also just um, personally.
Yeah.
And I think that worked personally for a lot of people, right? It's either it went in a negative direction or a positive direction. I mean, we ended up selling our house. We're like, this is too small. We ended up, getting a bigger home
Yeah.
for the family and another dog. Like, just a
Multiple
lot.
dogs.
Multiple
Yeah,
dogs.
yeah.
We'll just get another one. I guess I could start with COVID. So with COVID, when it first hit March, I remember, like it was yesterday. They said we were an essential, right? Only essential workers can leave your home. And then I got worried. I remember I called you, and
Yeah.
I was like, dude, I'm dusting off my resume.
You're like, I'm getting out my diploma.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like, I got to find all that stuff. I
Yeah.
really thought the end was near for real estate because I'm with Keller Williams. So we had like a nationwide call, and it was Ben Kinney. You know who Ben Kinney is?
Yeah. Yeah.
So he runs like, I don't know, 300 teams in Keller Williams. So they had him on the call, and Ben Kinney was on the Zoom, and he started talking like the sky is falling.
Yeah.
And be prepared. You need to fire everyone. Like everyone's just going crazy. They're like, I knew people, even people in this market center, other agents that were firing their admins. They're like, that's the biggest thing, the biggest expense you could get rid of. And I was like, dang, all these people are like looking at ways to save money. And then I sat down and I was like, okay, what if this doesn't pan out? Then I'm gonna have to get a real, like another 9 to 5, like
Yeah.
go back to sales, right? Or a different type of sales. So I just started dusting off my resume. I remember I called you and said, hey, what are we gonna do?
Yeah.
And so 1 week I was in a very dark place.
Yeah.
Because I thought it was just all going to crumble.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I think just one day we're talking, and I was like, I could either just let it happen,
Yeah.
or I could do something positive. And we always know activity breeds activity, and it's always mindset. I think anything is mindset, right?
Yeah.
Whether it's real estate, whether it's COVID, whether it's doing loans, whether it's being an athlete, I think it's all mindset. You have to have the mindset that, yo, I'm going to break through. I'm going to be the best I can. I'm going to be the best at this.
Yeah.
So my mindset was just messed up that week of March.
Just that 1 week.
It was only 1 week.
Yeah.
1 week I was in a very dark place.
Yeah.
And I just had all these negative thoughts. So then I realized that, hey, it starts with me. It starts with what my thinking is. So I decided, all right, let's just spin it. Let's go in a positive direction. This is what we can control. We can only control what we do. So, dude, I hit up everybody that was approved, and I didn't care. We weren't supposed to show homes.
Yeah.
I went out. I showed homes on the down low.
Yeah.
I had mask and I had gloves in my car to give to because those were really hard to come by.
Yeah.
And for some reason I had them. I don't know why. Don't ask me where. It's not like I went out and bought them. I just had them laying around, like boxes of masks, boxes of gloves. It's like it was meant to be.
Yeah.
And then I'll just give them to my clients, and then we would go show. And I just kept doing it. And I remember I was posting them on my story. Then our team leader, our broker, said, "Hey, people are complaining that you're showing homes. You might want to take that off your social media."
Yeah.
So I took it off, and then just kept doing that. And then all of a sudden, realtors were essential.
Yeah.
So it was all good. I was already maybe a month ahead of the game showing homes. It was crazy because no homes were.
Well, I remember at that time too, we had those crazy fires. Remember?
Oh,
And then I
yeah.
met you out here in Oak Grove. We were showing people houses, and
Yeah, the air
I had one of
quality.
those. I had one of those original masks that had like the. And you're like, "Where'd you get that crazy mask? Here, let me give you a good one."
Oh, I had like a filter?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And then we had gloves, and we were going into places, and it was just like it was off. It was we were off to the races from
I
then
remember
on.
that in Elk
Yeah,
Grove.
yeah.
I totally forgot. What happened to those people?
They bought.
Did they?
Yeah.
With you?
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
and me? All right.
Yeah,
Perfect.
yeah. We were just like, hey, let's just make it happen. Yeah.
Yeah, you were there. You were showing. I remember. That was crazy times. And then so once I changed that mindset and once we were essential, I said, "All right, let's do this." And I knew we were going to be okay. I would hop on Zoom every day. Oh, speaking of that, I knew Zoom was going to be the next thing. I wish I would have just bought more shares of Zoom
Yeah, yeah.
because I was telling the team, I was like, "Look, Zoom is going to be the thing. We need to get used to it." So that's when I went out and bought the
The link.
the
Yeah.
link.
Yeah.
So I bought the homebuyerzoom.com, and that brought us to our, you already know, to our room.
Yeah.
And we were just doing team meetings on Zoom. We played games as a team on Zoom.
Yeah.
I forgot what it's called, but it's called Box. Lily, what's that thing called? Jump Box? Jackbox.
I wasn't with you guys.
Yeah.
But do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Oh. So it's this game that you could play virtually.
Yeah.
Everyone just logs in on their phone.
Oh, okay.
So we were doing that as a team. We would wake up at 9 a.m. and we would hop on Zoom. We would call FISBOs, expired. We would call our clients. Me and Molly, we would drop off toilet paper, like
Wow.
one roll of toilet paper to our clients that needed it. So
Yeah.
we would call them and say, "Hey, how's everything? Do you need anything?"
Yeah.
Because everyone's at home. And then a couple of our clients said, we don't know where to get toilet paper.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Well, you're in luck because we're only a family of 4 and we have a bunch of it."
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we just drop off toilet paper. And a story about that toilet paper, it's almost like our hot dogs, right? That was like the,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
cheapest thing you could give somebody,
Yeah. Yeah.
but the biggest ROI.
Yeah. Yeah.
So one of my clients to this day said, "Hey, I'll never forget the day you dropped off toilet paper to me during the pandemic. And because of that, I'm always going to be grateful and loyal and support your business."
Yeah.
And that client has already given me friends and family. So just to show and we weren't even looking for anything out of it, right?
I
It
know.
was just like, "Hey, how are you? Anything we can do?" And, I gave some toilet paper. I remember giving some Gatorade to my friend Judy and some, what do you call that? Like, corned beef, cans of corned beef.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, yeah. So we did that. What else did we do? We signed up for TikTok. We shot a TikTok video.
Was that the one with the and everything was changing and all that? That was
Yeah,
a good,
where
that
we
was a
were
good TikTok.
we were in
Yeah.
our we were in our pajamas, and
Yeah.
then the camera, we would put our card, and then all of a sudden we're in our realtor outfit.
Yeah.
So that was cool. I mean, to this day, I think that's the only video that I posted. But I mean, I got my life together. Like, I said, okay, I can't do nothing. What should I do? I paid off my student loans. I called them and I said, "Hey, what's the balance on this?" My credit was so-so, and I was like, "You know what? I want an Amex card."
Yeah.
That was my goal, because I used to have one back in the day, like before college.
Yeah.
But I didn't know you had to pay it off. So when I got the bill, I was like, "Holy shit!" I can't, and that was only the green one, right?
Yeah.
I was like, "I can't pay this,"
Yeah.
and then default, right? But so I worked on myself, worked on my bills, my outgo, got my credit in order, and paid off whatever I had to pay off. That way, I'll be ready
Yeah.
when we get back to normal, or if we get back to normal.
Yeah.
Right? Because that was the talk about if. But yeah, COVID, man. So we did all that activity after activity, calling FISBOs, calling clients, still showing homes, still converting. Because we do realtor.com, right?
Yeah.
And when people were canceling their memberships or their lead flows,
Yeah.
I think we pumped it up.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
it seriously, like the lead flow went from by all the massive contacts that, I mean, not only I did, but what you did was and taking care of all the veteran stuff and the teacher stuff and all of that and not stopping. I mean, leads just flowed.
Yeah.
And lots of phone calls and lots of transactions going.
I mean, we were only, a team of 4 or 5.
Yeah.
And then we closed like 88 transactions that year.
Yeah.
And that was a crazy year.
That was a good year.
Yeah. Yeah.
And 2021 also, right into 2021, also a great year.
Yeah, 2021 is a little different because I think that's when everyone said, oh, I'm going to become a realtor. I think everyone became a realtor during COVID,
Yeah.
got their license or whatever.
No, everyone did.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, there's all these realtors in 2021. And then as long as your client put in the highest offer,
Yeah.
you were going to win. Like there was no skill involved in 2021 for a realtor. The only skill was getting your offer accepted, not being the highest offer.
Yeah.
That was a skill there.
Which
right?
you pulled off quite a bit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, and not being afraid to call the other agent and go after it. So 2020 versus 2021, totally different, right?
Yeah, and 2021, it got to be where it was, if I just put a sign in the ground, the house is going to sell.
Oh, yeah.
And we've seen in 2022, what about that shift? Now it's really shifted over to a buyer's market. So coming out of COVID, we're kind of doing the shift out of 2021 going into 2022. What are you seeing for yourself kind of coming up
To 2022?
Yeah.
So if you follow the Shift book by Gary Keller, they talk about in a shift, you come on the down market. Oh, so let's go back. So 2021 up market, right?
Yeah.
Everyone chases the money. So when there's money to be made, people are like, I want a piece of that. What do I have to do? And let's be real, it's not that hard to become a realtor. You
Yeah.
do some hours and then
Got to take a test.
take the test.
Yeah.
And then you pass, great. If you don't, you take it again,
Yeah.
right? Did you know it took me 4 tries? By
No,
the
it
way?
didn't.
Yeah, 4 tries to pass the real estate exam. Because I didn't study. I just go.
Yeah,
take it,
just
right?
wing it.
Yeah, and then
He's also a pilot, people, so hopefully he's not winging it.
So where there's money to be made, people are chasing. So I want a piece of that. And so money goes up, amount of people in that industry go up.
Yeah.
As the money goes down, which is now happening,
Yeah.
you're going to see a lot of people saying, oh, this is not what I signed up for.
Yeah.
And they're going to get out of the game. And then there's going to be a small amount of people left.
Yeah.
So I can't wait for 2022 to clear or 2023 to start, because there's going to be a lot of people that were realtors that are no longer in the game.
Yeah.
But I'm in it forever. So long haul. So now when you're down here, right? Lower pricing, less realtors. Now this is the time to capture market share.
It's just
This is the time to pump, go. Just like COVID.
Yeah.
Pump, put more when everyone is trying to trim.
Yeah.
And then you'll take over market share. And then eventually the market's going to get better. Kaboom. I mean,
Then you're sitting really good.
We're already eons ahead, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you can't even catch us. And that's the plan. That's the goal. We're just going to treat it like it's COVID right now, like what we do.
Yeah.
And then run the same formula. And then by the time we get back up, it's off to the races. And
Okay, so you are all like, we come out of 2020, 2021, COVID's over, 2022 rolls around, and the whole market is shifting, right? What is going to separate you and the team? I mean, we're halfway through right now, but what is separating you, and where do you see yourself going on from here for customers, for real estate in Elk Grove?
So the biggest thing on our team, and every team member on the team is also on the same page, is we're all about the client experience.
Okay.
Making the process easy for the client, whether it's buying or selling. Also teaching them education-wise about the process.
Yeah.
Even if it's a seller and they told me, hey, I've sold a home plenty of times. Well, good, but I want to make sure you understand our process, right?
Yeah.
Because what we've found out is the better your communication, the better expectation, then the better the experience, right?
Yeah.
So, and we treat it like a Michelin star restaurant.
Yeah.
So those high-end restaurants, if you book a reservation, we sort of stole this one from them. You book a reservation, they send you a questionnaire.
Yeah.
So they could make your dining experience
That much better.
that much better.
Yeah.
So we've done that. So if we meet a buyer or seller, we send them a questionnaire. So then we could prepare for that meeting. And then now we're out in that meeting, we explain to them what's going on, what's happening. And we want to make it easy. We want to make it fun. We want to make it enjoyable. We understand with real estate, it's like a roller coaster, right?
Yeah.
Our goal is to make their their ride like this,
Yeah.
right? Sort of just
They don't know what's happening below the wave.
Yeah. Even though, the roller coaster is like this.
Yes.
Their ride is just
Nice and smooth.
nice and smooth
Yeah.
till the end, like a small world. Like
Yeah.
it's a small world when it's really like the demon.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then also when it is a roller coaster, we're not letting them know or feel that.
Yeah.
So it's all about the experience, getting you the best deal possible,
Yeah.
getting you the most money as well, because that's also what they want if they're a seller, and then just sticking to what we promised them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was funny when I first met you. I think it was 2018, right? I went to pick up some paperwork next door to an open house. I pull up and there was this crazy open house going on, and I was like, I got to see what's happening over there. And I go over, and you had like balloons and a tent and selling lemonade on the corner, and I was like, what is happening? And I go do a tour, and I was like, I don't know, but I got to work with you. And I continued to call you until finally you gave me a shot to work with you. But I was so impressed for the clients that I was like, that's the kind of person that I need to align myself with, because that's the way that I like to treat my business as well. It's like going that extra mile for clients, and buyers as well. Like you really go the extra mile for buyers, just in the whole education and everything else. So when you're finishing this off, you've almost doubled. Have you doubled your team in the past year?
Yeah. So 2020 we're like team of 4, and then now we're a team of 10 agents.
Yeah.
And 2 support staff, and then we have 1 ISA. So
Okay.
13 total.
13 total.
Yeah.
Wow. Blowing up, right?
And we don't even recruit. We just attract.
Yeah.
So everyone that came on the team has reached out because they wanted to be on the team.
Yeah.
But we're very particular. We have our process is maybe like a 3 to 4 month process.
Yeah.
To see if you're a right fit on the team.
Yeah.
So, and it's not only just me doing the hiring. We have part of our executive team helping out, and then they meet the team, and then we have a whole collaboration on whether this person is a good fit.
Nice, nice. So are you going to continue? So now that we're halfway through 2022, going into 2023 and beyond, are you going to continue to increase this team and increase your exposure to Elk Grove and all around?
The goal is we do want to grow.
Yeah.
But we want to grow at the right rate.
Okay.
So we're never going to turn down talent if we find talent.
Yeah.
But however, if we meet someone and it's not a right fit, then it's not a right fit. But we'll always make room for talent.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the goal of the team, it's we just want to make the biggest and the most qualified team of realtors that are all on the same page of making sure that the client has the best experience.
Yeah.
It just back to that Michelin star restaurant.
Yeah.
Everyone in that kitchen is all on the same page to make sure that they stick to that Michelin standard, and that's our culture.
Yeah.
And it's not easy to find people that have that same vision or are down for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was funny the other day. I heard something, and you actually just said it. You said you try to make it easy for everybody, right? Like for them. And the guy was saying that he said the success is in easy, meaning you make it easy for everybody else, even though it's hard for you. It's easy for everybody else, and you just make it so much better for yourself. And I thought that was pretty good. So you just brought that up.
Yeah.
So right now we're current everything that's going on in the market. There is a lot of fear going on in the market with the way things that have happened, with interest rates going up, with housing prices slightly cooling off, but not tremendously. But it seems like the media is just pounding fear into everybody's heads. What is it that you are educating the buyers on about so that they know that they're in good hands with you?
One of the things that I don't do is feed into the media. And I feel like this is almost like a repeat of 2020, honestly, because there was a lot of fear in 2020.
Yeah.
And then now there's a lot of fear now in 2022. But if you sort of pay attention to that, or you let that affect you, then you're going to make it a problem as well, right?
Yeah.
What you focus on expands. So I don't like to focus on that when everyone keeps talking about the rates are higher. Yeah, it's like 1% higher.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not bad. It's not bad.
It's not really that bad.
Yeah.
And the prices are dropping. There's a lot of price corrections, price drops. So this is a great time for a buyer. They say don't focus on the rate. Focus on the monthly. Don't focus on the price. Focus on the monthly. So what we do is we just want to educate the buyer that, look, because honestly, the price doesn't matter if you're not going to live there for 30 years.
Yeah.
And the only person I know that's lived in their home for 30 years is my grandma.
Yeah.
And even then, I sold her house in San Jose, and she lives in Elk Grove.
Yeah.
So historically, who's living in their home for 30 years? Because if you're going to live in the home for 30 years, then yes, price does matter, because you're going to end up paying that price, right?
Yeah.
But if you're going to sell it in 5-7 years, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You're going to sell it, you're going to make money, you're going to move on to your next home, right? And then rate, everyone should be educated with you, and they need to know that they're not stuck to that rate. Once it drops, you're probably the first person that's going to call them, right?
And refinance
it back to the lower rate. So with the rate, it can only go lower. It can never go higher.
Yeah. And
that's what we should be pushing. Not we're in a recession, not that we're shifting, not that rates are higher, we should be advertising that the price doesn't matter and the rate isn't forever.
Yeah.
So
I will say that with the rate, if you're renting, your payment's always going to be going up, right?
Yeah, 100%
always.
Interest.
Every time it's 100% interest, right?
To the landlord, right?
But with inflation and everything, it's going to continue to rise. If you have a fixed interest rate, it's that way for as long as you want to be there.
I have a handful of clients that could have, should have, would have bought during COVID.
Yeah.
And they call me to this day.
Yeah.
And they say, "Oh my gosh, Brian, I could have had my dream house for only $500,000.
Yeah.
Now it's $1 million."
I know, it's so crazy. Yeah.
Guess what? The people in 2022.
Yeah.
They're gonna call me in 2023. "Oh my gosh, Brian, we could have had our dream house for $700,000.
Yeah.
Now it's 1.2.
Yeah.
And that's just the way it goes.
Yeah. So we've gone through pretty much your history over the past couple years, with the whole real estate thing, from the kind of the fear and panic in the very beginning, into kind of the fear that's going on now through 2020, 21, 22, and kind of going off into the future. So I just wanted to kind of showcase what it takes to actually succeed in real estate, and what it takes to actually be the kind of the best that you can be as far as a real estate agent. So before we get off this podcast, I want you to tell a quick story that you sent me a picture right after you got that dog that you talked about earlier, that brand new puppy, when it got into your cupboard and tore up, got into the flour.
So you're talking about Taco, our newest dog. So he's a puppy, and we didn't really keep him in a crate.
Yeah.
So we just let him like roam the lower level of our home. And one day, Molly sends me a text at it, and I could tell it's our living room. However, it looked like someone put snow everywhere in our living room. It was white everywhere, on the couch, everywhere. And I said, "What the hell is this?" And she goes, "Taco got into the cupboard, or the pantry, and he opened up like 4 bags of mochi flour, and it was just all over the place." So I was like, "Oh, damn." So that day, I was doing my best to find stuff to keep me busy because I didn't want to go home. So, and then I got home, and it was all spotless because Molly cleaned it.
Nice.
Yeah, but she said when she got home, she opened the door, saw all the flour, and she closed the door, and she was going to get back in her car and wait for me to get home.
And ignore it.
Yeah.
Nice.
But she ended up staying and cleaning it, and then I came home right after her, and that's the story.
Nice.
So,
good talk.
yeah.
All right,
and
man.
crate your dog.
Yeah, crate your dog. See ya. Peace.
Again on the podcast.
Smash that
See
like
you guys
button.
next time.
Follow.
Yes. Follow us.